I used to think that if I could just be around successful people, that I would level up a lot faster towards my goals. And now I think differently. And what really changed my mind was around 6 months ago when I met a 27-year-old in New York who just made $50 million at the end of 2025. And that was in income, in profit, not in revenue. And the conversation that I had with him, it showed me the true power of being around successful people. And it was very different than what I used to think. I used to think if I was with Elon Musk, if I was with like these people who are billionaires, I'd be asking them these like specific questions and getting these specific answers that would just level me up like that. But in reality, the true power that I got from that conversation with this guy was the identity shift. It was what became normal in my nervous system. The statements, the words, the beliefs, the actions that from after that point became a lot more normal to me, standard. Because most people that you meet are not going to have this amount of success, right? Like it's a very extreme level of wealth for someone to make 50 mil a year at 27, right? But what do you think you get from talking to someone like that? How do they talk about the world? How do they talk about goals? How do they talk about what they're going to achieve? To someone like that, to someone making 50 mil, like making $1 million a year seems like they're failing, right? Isn't that crazy? Like, especially if you're someone who is nowhere close to that goal, the idea of $1 million a year is like, whoa. Like that is life-changing. That is the most wealth that anyone I know, that my family knows, that anyone around me has ever made. Like that's next level, man. But to that guy, $1 million a year, he'd be anxious. He'd be panicking. He'd be like, yo, what is going on? Like my life is falling apart. And so you have to imagine that someone like that, the way that they talk about the world is of this higher paradigm, or at least this more confident paradigm. And paradigm is like a worldview, a perspective, how you see the world. Their perspective and worldview is able to embody such bigger ideas, such bigger ambitions. And if you can't have it be normal in your nervous system that $1 million is attainable, that $50 million a year is attainable, then you can never have the idea or the actions, the idea for the actions that it takes to get that much money. And so that's the upgrade I feel like I got from that conversation with him. When he told me that, I was like, damn, like that's possible. You know, and like I see people online, like there's people like Elon, like these guys online that we all know and we all know are doing these crazy things. But when you meet them in person, when you hear them talk and you see that this is a normal person, this is just a dude. This guy was like a British dude. Like the way that he was talking was just like how like some of my friends are. And he's performing at that level. That's normal to him. That's what the true power of being around these people are like, is that that's normal. And so you don't need to be asking like the right questions to these types of guys. You don't need to ask for tips. You don't need to ask like, how do I grow my company? Like, what do I do? Like the fucking, everyone's saying the same things. Like be disciplined, stay consistent, do what you love, like be passionate about it. Like these are the common things you'll find anywhere else. But that's not enough for most people. Like most of us have heard these things over and over again. The true power of actually attaining your goals or leveling up is by actually changing who you are, changing what's normal to you, changing exactly where your beliefs end, where your ideas of what actions end. The dude who is making 50K a year and is imagining 100K a year as the end, the winning, like that is like absolutely insane, gonna change my life, change my family's life. Like that's great. That's most people, but it will literally cap you from being able to think beyond that, to be able to even come up with a service or a product that can serve beyond that. And when you surround yourself with ambitious people or successful people, not just ambitious people, but people who've actually done it, that's what changes for you. Your worldview opens up. So that's a value I got from him. And action steps for this, I don't really know. Like it's kind of hard to get around these types of guys. Like you kind of have to get a little bit lucky or, put yourself in the right spots. Like for example, I'm in Bali now and I'm paying $250 a month for my gym here, which is insanely expensive for like a place like this where you can pay $2-3 for food. But that has allowed me to be around some higher level people. And I would say like the exchange of that money is in this identity upgrade, and it's already paid off. It's been 5 days since I've been here. So find those ways in your local place or wherever you are to get into those circles or get into those conversations. It's already a good step to just be consuming content from people you want to be like, but you get that nervous system upgrade when you're there in person. So try it out. Trust me. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to keep growing, watch this next video. Peace.